Warren Sprouse. You're on the Bible Forum. We're here every Sunday night from 8 to 10 p.m. live, but we have other means. You can go to our webpage, thebibleforum.net. You can go to the Facebook page, the Bible Forum Facebook page, or to our YouTube page, and these things are archived. If you have questions, comments, things you'd like me to talk about, go to the webpage, thebibleforum.net, and click the link that would give you our email, and let me know what they are. I'd be glad to talk to you. Who's really teaching our children? We're being told that on average, children are exposed to over 60,000 hours of media by the time they're 17 years old. So, as the digital age cements itself into the culture, researchers have been investigating the effects of that media on brain development in children. They've been doing this for decades. A new study, which the news program 60 Minutes investigated, is showing some startling results. The National Institutes of Health plans to spend $300 million to study 11,000 children between 9 and 10 years of age over a 10-year period. They want to find out what the effects of screen time really are. Currently, researchers at 21 locations across the United States are finalizing interviews as they investigate the first round of brain scans for children. Researchers are finding some startling MRI results. The MRIs are finding significant differences in the brains of some kids who use smartphones, tablets, video games, and other things 7 hours a day. These significant differences show that there's a premature thinning of the outer cortex of the brain. Dr. Gaia Dowling breaks this thinning down by saying we don't know yet if it's a bad thing. It won't be until we follow them over time that we will see if there are outcomes associated with the differences. Dowling believes that this could be a matter of brain maturation, but only time will tell. And he says, but, quote, what would we expect to see happening later is really happening earlier, end of quote. The digital age is reshaping our culture and the way we interact with media, creating a domino effect. Researchers are optimistic that the findings from the study will help to communicate if the children develop an addiction to screens, something Dr. Dimitri Christakis from Seattle Children's Hospital is already learning about in depth. Dr. Christakis studies children who are under 2 years of age to see how they interact with screens and the impact it has on their development. As he notes, quote, what we do know about babies playing with iPads is that they don't transfer what they learn from the iPad to the real world, which is to say that if you give a child an app where they play with virtual Legos, virtual blocks, and stack them, then shut all that down and hand them real blocks, they don't know what to do. They are starting all over building those skills. With the exception of brief video chatting, Dr. Christakis finds findings compel him to assert that screen time is not beneficial to toddlers and babies because they cannot compute the difference between screen and reality. Additionally, Dr. Christakis highlights that the experience of making something happen is so much more gratifying for someone under 2 than it is for a teenager. Former Google manager Tristan Harris goes so far as to call this screen phenomenon a war for attention. Harris asserts that parents assume this type of interaction is just what children do in 2018, but follows up that this is a major misconception. According to Harris, contrary to times before, teens of teams of sophisticated individuals are consistently changing digital features to make them more enticing to consumers, and what they're doing is working. The idea is so prevalent in our culture that in recent months an ad campaign highlighted the generational divide of screen interaction. This world of screens is accelerated. It is moving way faster than anything else in our society. Anderson Cooper's coverage of the study concludes with Jean Twenge, a professor of psychology at the University University of California, San Diego. After 5 years of study of what he calls the iGen generation, Twenge urges, quote, "You have to use it for what it's good for, then put it down," end of quote. This sentiment is also echoed in the book by the Culture-Wise family, in Movie Guide, from Movie Guide founder Dr. Ted Baehr. While there are features that allow smartphone users to monitor their screen time usage, many parents don't realize those features are available or how to use them. As researchers gather more evidence of the negative impacts of screen time, he says we need to heed the findings and combat the too much screen time with positive practices. As the study continues to unfold in the future, he tells us to keep checking back at Movie Guide for the latest results. And for more helpful insight into your children's media exposure, you might want to read Movie Guide founder Dr. Ted Baehr's book, The Culture-Wise Family and the Media-Wise Family. Children as young as 2 and 3 are often more screen-wise, more technology-wise than their parents. It is not just a phenomena. It very well may be a harbinger of our next generation, and it ain't good.